What's happening, Blades? So just a quick video on this season's signing. I'm going to rate them out of 10. Obviously because season easily done, and obviously there's only 5 games to go in the Championship as of recording, due to Sheffield United playing Plymouth Argyle tomorrow. So, obviously I'm going to start with first one. First one or second one? One of the first ones. Sam McCallum. Well, I think Sam McCallum's I think he's been a 6 out of 10 to be fair. I just think like he's come on, did his impact job, did his job when he come on pitch. He's been like skinned a few times by wingers, but he's still young, he's still raw. Like he'll only get better to be fair, and I hope he'll get better for Sheffield United. So Sam McCallum, for that, I'm going to give you a 6.5, because he's not really a starter, he's just a sub when tired legs come on. Because obviously you don't drop one of other signings I'm going to mention it in about a minute or so. So we're moving on to what I remember, Jamie Shackleton. Jamie Shackleton's not really been playing that much. He's been injured for what I know for most of the season. He's only started like a couple of games. When he has started, it's just been mixed. When I remember it was a game before New Year, he played a sturdy hands, and like ever since then he's just got injured. I think about November time, I think. Like, he's been out ever since. I don't know if it's like a fitness issue. I don't know if it's a personal issue. He's not been playing ever since, and for that, I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10, because I've not really seen him that much since like the latter stages of the year. So yeah, Jamie Shackleton, like rating 4. So we're going on to a main starter now, Callum O'Hare. Well, I think Callum O'Hare's been good. He's been like a main number 10. Obviously, he can link up play with Gus Harmer. But when he first come in, he just looked a bit shadowy, what we're seeing now for him. I don't know if it's because he's been in a new team and getting that new team balance, but he's settled in with Gus right well, and he's playing. But I want him to start more like he has done recently, and for that, I'm gonna give him an 8 and 7.5 out of 10. I just think there's still some more. There's still like a bit of more season for him to come back into the squad. Might be a fitness issue, might be obviously you don't drop Brewster. Who knows with Wilder. So going on to Kiefer Moore. Well, everyone don't rate him, but not everyone, but most people don't rate him, saying he's like he doesn't do no. But I beg to differ. I think Kiefer Moore's a steady Championship player. He's not going to get you loads of goals. He's not going to guarantee you, but what he does guarantee you is he comes back, what I've noticed, and gone back for defence, which obviously Tyrese Campbell doesn't do, which obviously I don't blame him, but Kiefer Moore's a bit like Ollie McBurney, who comes back for defence and helps out, mucks in. So yeah, Kiefer Moore, in my opinion, I think I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Simply because he's just, I've not really seen much of him. He scored a few goals. He scored like 2 goals against his parent club, I think. That was his last goals. Not parent club, flipping the previous club, Cardiff City. Then he's been injured quite a few times, so for that, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. So, Tyrese Campbell, wow. I'm going on to Tyrese Campbell now since I've mentioned him. I think this is going to be a harsh rating. Well, not harsh, but it could be better if he would have stayed consistent all season. So, Tyrese Campbell, I think he's a 8.5. If he would have stayed injury free all season, it would have been a 10 for my liking. Sorry about that. Just got a bit of film on my teeth. Yeah. Anyway, back to it. It would have been an 8 for my liking. I mean, a 10 for my rating. Sorry. Got a bit sidetracked. Yeah. So, Tyrese Campbell, for all your efforts, you put ball in the Wednesday net. I'll put a ball in a Wednesday net. I'm not going to say a dirty version. Tyrese Campbell. So, moving on to what I think one of the best signings in what you call it, summer transfer window. No, I missed one. Going on to Alfie Gilchrist. Yeah, I think he's been alright. Not been playing much lately. I don't know if that's like an injury issue, a fitness issue. If what you call it, Chris Wilder's not really fancying at the moment. Who knows? But yeah, Alfie Gilchrist, when he came in, he was a bit shaky at first, then he grew into it. I just think like he's good at going back, but going forward he gets caught out. And obviously, I just think he's one of them players what will become good, and due to like when he gets older, he mature. I'd like to see him on loan another season. If we do go up, or if we stay in Championship, put him on the right, let him reverse between Femi Sarika and Alfie Gilchrist for Championship matches. If we go up, obviously there need to be improvements, and I'd still sign him if we go up as well on loan due to permanent option to buy. But so let's move on to obviously who's next now. Let's move on to Jezeren Raksaki. Jezeren Raksaki, well, he's been hit and miss. I remember when he went a few games he scored in and stuff like that. Like he got goals, he got play. I think since West Brom or Coventry, he picked up a bit of an injury, I think, and it were a bit of a harsh really on by him, but since he's come back, he's scored a few goals, but he's not looked the same since I think he was since Crystal Palace. Like I said, you can keep him for a season, because I think he was playing for a Crystal Palace shirt. That's why he upped his ante and thought, oh, what a player we've got. I think if he would have kept that form up, I would have given him a 10. It would have been one of the best signings that season. And like, ever since his injury, he's not really looked, and Crystal Palace said he don't want him, he's not looked that comfortable and that like the same player. So, moving on to Harry Souttar. Wow. How? I must admit, how Harry Souttar were the main guy for our low defence letting goals in. I remember when Michael Cooper didn't let a goal until the Burnley game at Bramall Lane in December. He signed, and then we're going to go into Michael Cooper in a minute. I think Harry Souttar has got to be, I don't know if to do it 11 out of 10. But he's got to be the best loan all season. And simply because when we were playing teams and they tried to loft it over, it was just first one. It was a mounted. And all Blades can like vouch for this, but we miss him. We miss him. And when he went off at Boxing Day, and we found out it was a ACL, and we thought, wow, he's out for season and he's going back to Leicester, and hopefully we can sign him if we do to go up just for that height, and I think he will be good in the Premier League if given chance. So yeah, I'm gonna move on. So Harry Souttar, just for your performances, I'm gonna give him an 11 out of 10 because he's been the greatest player, the greatest loan player this season. And obviously I'm gonna rate a few more than 10 in due course of video. So we go on to, I think, Harrison Burrows. Wow. Harrison Burrows again. Yeah, he's had a few shaky games. He's had, obviously, when he went into centre midfield with no choice of his own, I just think he didn't look all that good in centre midfield. But when he's at left wing back, how he charges down that left channel and assists us and plays ball round defenders is phenomenal. I think for that, obviously I don't think he's missed much this season. I don't think he's missed a game at all. For that, I'm going to give him 11.5 out of 10. I know I'm going above 10, but I just think, wow, he's good. I couldn't argue like a 12 out of 10. Do you know what? I'm going to change it to 15. Right. He were obviously 13 out of 15. And like a few other players are some 13 out of 15s, like Callum O'Hare, obviously Tyrese Campbell, and like, right, so yeah, out of 15. Harrison Burrows, I'm going to change it, 14 out of 15. Obviously, I'm a bit harsh on them couple of games when you played centre midfield, but you have been a steal. For a League One player to make a step up from Peterborough United, make a step up to the Championship, in like just basically a new team what's put together by Chris Wilder, and I'll get to his signings, and I'm going to rate him a whole out of 40. Out of 40 all finger. So for that, 14 out of 15 Harrison Burrows. Yeah. Let's move on to Michael Cooper. Whoa. Right. Michael Cooper. England's number one. I think. Where do I start? Yeah. He had a first mistake in him. And a couple of mistakes. I remember when he played it, he threw ball and he threw it behind him and he thought, oh wow. And luckily they weren't a player, but obviously I forgot who that were against now. We're like, oh my god. Were it against Plymouth? Were it against Portsmouth? Oh, I don't know. One of the teams. I'm not too sure, to be fair. But like obviously overnight when he nearly passed it into his own goal, and we were like, Coops. And I know he's conceded a lot more since Harry Souttar's, being injured. But that's no fault of his own. And they've been good shots, to be fair. But could you argue this rating? I think he's a 15 and 15. So I think that's it. I don't know if I've missed any. Obviously, moving on to January transfer window signings now. So, let's start with Ben Brereton Diaz. Ben Brereton Diaz, he's been hit and miss. He was good when he came in Premier League, but obviously you thought you don't have to work as hard in Championship. Your form can falter, and obviously I'm going to rate him out and 10. I'm only rating players who were good. Well, not good, but who were phenomenal signings out of 15, and is quite. But unfortunately, Ben Brereton Diaz, I think you're going to get a 7.5 out of 10. I just think he's come in, scored a few goals, contributed a few goals, and obviously set a few goals up, and well, that's contributed a few goals, isn't it? Rambling. Oh, copyright on another channel. Sorry. Yeah, so just waffling on. And yeah, I think Ben Brereton Diaz, for that, you're going to get a 7.5 for me. He's still good, but he's not like being at the races. Right, moving on to Hamza Chowdhury. Hamza Chowdhury's been a steady job. I don't think he warrants a high score, to be fair. I just think he looks a bit lost in that central midfield, centre park. In all honesty, I think his best position is right back, to be fair. Obviously, yeah, he had to cover for Vini Souza, but I think few games, they were not getting past him. He ran show. He absolutely ran show, to be fair. But other games, he just went missing, and he just went like complacent, and for that, Hamza Chowdhury, I'm going to give you a 6.5, in all honesty. It might become good in the last few games, which I'm going to do another overall season rating. But yeah, Hamza Chowdhury, 6.5. Moving on to Tom Cannon. Tom Cannon, yeah, next. I think I've not really seen much of Tom Cannon. I can't really slate him, rate him. Obviously, yeah, he's getting desperate for a goal now because it's only 4 games left, and he's going begging without a goal. But he's only started a handful of games. He's not even started a full match. He must have started Hull, I believe. He must have started Hull, I think. And like, he's not really started much ever since. So yeah, Tom Cannon, for that, I'm not going to give a harsh score. I'll just give a 6 out of 10. Just a bit above average, but I'm not really seeing much of him. Right. Let's go to Christian Nowachuk from Bate Plottev, whatever you call it. Oh, I've no idea. Christian Nowachuk. I'm going to give him I can't really give him a rating because I've not really seen him. So I'm not going to rate him. That's a nil. Because I've not seen out of him. I've not seen nothing of Christian Nowachuk. Yeah, so Christian Nowachuk, I think there's a problem with his work permit or something daft like that. We can't get work permits done. I know he's a Sheffield United player, but like for that I'm gonna give him not gonna give him a score. I'm just gonna give him a nil. Right, Jefferson Caceres, whatever you call him. I think I'm gonna give him just solely because he's hit form in under 21s, but you can't rate form in under 21s, and Just right. I'm gonna give for a rating now for under 21s. If he were to start, I think he'll get a 4, cause obviously, but under 21s is being an 8 or 9, but I'm not too sure on that, so I can't really give a rating to Jefferson Caceres, whatever you say, Jeff, Peru guy. So yeah, that's no. I'm gonna give him a 0. A 0 out of 0. Same with Christian Noachaku, 0 out of 0. So, moving on to the last player, I believe, is Rob Holding. Obviously, Rob Holding's same as Tom Canning. He's not really started every game. He's only come on as a cameo at the end of the game. He looks steady. I don't know if it's a fitness issue. He's not been starting. I don't know if it's not. I don't know. Obviously, he's been injured for 2 seasons. We are thinking, but from what I have seen, I'm going to give above average, so 6.5. I believe he'll be a good player, but obviously he can't really drop as much as I want him to drop Jack Robinson. You can't really drop a captain. You can't. So yeah, that's my player ratings. This is what I'm going to think on the manager signings. I think a 30. I'm going to do it out of 40 for manager signings. I think for a new squad rebuild, we needed to, obviously, Caceres and Noah Chaco's AI signings, apparently. So do you judge on that? I don't really think so, to be fair, but I think with Chris Wilder's signings, I'm going to rate a 34 out of 40, 35 out of 40, because it's just like, a batcher, it's a new squad, new rebuild. Obviously, the season's not done yet. I think if we're to go up, I might I'll put like players high. If we stay down and they've got a thingy, if they've got photo, I probably will like lower players' ratings. But till then, Chris Wilder, 35 out of 40. Till then, till the next video. Come on, you red and white Wizards. Let's push this last 5 games. And let's get a win against Plymouth tomorrow. Up the Blades! Come on!